What's going on, car nerds? It's your boy Kevin.
And Jay.
That was cringe as hell, but we'll go with it.
This chair is
Questionable, yeah. As you guys can see, we're a new setup. This is probably the 10th setup we've done, but
keep you guys on your toes.
yeah, you never know what to expect with us. Today we're on episode 51, so pretty big milestone. We celebrated last time. Check that out. But today's episode, we're doing the recap of Drive Festival, so 2024. We've done a few of these now,
Yeah.
and we're just going to recap for this year.
Yeah, because you've been 3 times. I went to the last 2 and unfortunately missed out on this year's, but...
I think I've been to 4. This is my 4th, because I did it just for fun once, like before the podcast was a thing.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get into that, we got some rapid fire news.
Yep, our classic now. That's part of our brand.
Yeah,
So,
we can cover that.
all right, what's the rapid fire news today?
So it's pretty quick, just like the title entails. BMW, the chief designer who basically ruined everything, the big grills and the notorious XM, has left BMW and moved to Rolls-Royce. So RIP Rolls-Royce.
We're going to have big grills next year.
Yeah, but BMW might start making nice cars again.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool. And another thing that was devastating is Mercedes, 1 or 2 years ago, said we're done with V8s. But they saw how poorly the new 4-cylinders did.
Mm-hmm.
So they went backwards and were like, actually, just kidding, psych, we're bringing back the V8s.
Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear.
So, and Audi is still killing it with their cool cars. No word on the R8 replacement yet, but hopefully it's going to be something cool. Like Lamborghini, the Storado or whatever, the Huracan replacement. It's pretty cool.
Temerario. Is that what the official name is?
Temerario, yes.
Temerario.
Something like that. But the Germans are back and strong.
Yeah.
Full force. So that's
They're all
good.
pretty much using the same engines, the V8 bi-turbos. Well, at least Mercedes and Audi.
I'd rather that than some crappy
100%.
4-cylinder.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the new BMW M5 is a hybrid, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's not the best. I kind of saw that coming for bigger BMWs, though. And kind of, we were going that direction anyway. But, I mean, the V8 twin-turbo is pretty tried and true. So I feel like it's almost like your safety bet when you buy one of these cars. It's like you're buying a pretty, performance-heavy car, but usually that comes with, like, high maintenance costs. And you just kind of know that these engines are built well, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So that wraps up the news. The main topic, though, this year, I mean, this is definitely the Drive Festival is definitely the best car show in Toronto.
Yeah,
Or
for
in Ontario, for sure. It's just because it's not just a car show. That's kind of, it's hard to describe it. It's everything you can think of. We're talking about, you have a show and shine, so cool exotic cars on display. You have cars that actually go on the racetrack, so they have constant groups of cars going on there. They have time attack. Then there's a bunch of vendors, so you can talk to local shops. There's a bunch of free merch. That's
That's the best
definitely a
part.
highlight.
The
Yeah.
NOS we get every year. I have one that's still in my fridge, actually, from 2 years ago.
So yeah. And then there's also an off-roading booth. So there's a track, you can go off-roading. There's go-karting, there's drifting, you can also rent cars on the track. So you can rent a Ferrari and do a few laps. What's the other one? Go-karting too. And there's motorcycle test drives. There's literally anything and everything you can think of relating to cars. There's even RC cars you can drive.
And we even did that test drive of that electric car last year.
Yeah.
Like the 0 to 100.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you can test drive, Ford, Kias, Lincolns, all that. So there's just everything, and that's in my opinion why it's the best. 'Cause it's, you can talk about like, I don't like drifting, but like there's gonna be something for you.
For sure. Yeah, and not even to mention all the exotics that you can see there too. Like there's, like you said, I think there's something for everybody, and it's like a car person's dream to be there because it's like everything and anything related to cars is happening.
Yeah.
Plus it's at a track too, so it's like that's even better.
Yeah, exactly. So it is hosted at the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, which is pretty far from Toronto, but it makes sense. It's a proper racetrack, and it has to be zoned out of the city. It happens every year, early September. Tickets are, I'd say, not too bad. It's like $20 to $30.
Sometimes last minute deals pop up where you can get them under 20, but I wouldn't rely on that in case they sell out.
Yeah, usually I do early bird because it's like $5 cheaper or something, and I know I like the show, so why not just buy it right now? The thing that was interesting is this year was pretty freaking cold, because last year when we went, we were like getting sunburned and boiling in the heat.
Brutal.
Whereas this year is pretty cold and not raining, but like misty, so it was
Interesting track conditions probably too.
yeah, people weren't pushing as much as they did, which is all right. But still got to see Lambos on the track.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, and it goes from Friday night until Sunday, and like for me, so I went there for the whole day. It's usually like 6 hours, the show, and like honestly, you need 2 days to see everything, which is insane. Because I felt like it saw a lot, felt like it did a lot, but I didn't do the off-roading. I didn't go see drifting. I didn't go see the go-karting. I only saw the exotics at the top. Car park, even the car park.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of exotics in there, like people driving to the show will bring
It's pretty cool.
the Lambos.
Yeah, you can even see, you become too British. It's actually a parking lot, but
True.
there's so many cool cars to see. Like I remember even when we were looking, we saw like all kinds of like there's like a McLaren parked in the parking. There's like cool BMWs. And then at the front they have like a special section. I don't know if that's part of the festival, but
Yeah, so you can, it's like a show and shine. You donate, let's say $20 to charity, and then you get to park your car in front of it's essentially to display it.
Yeah.
And people with cool cars just park it there just to show off.
It's kind of nice. It's like kind of fenced off kind of thing, and you can kind of collectively see all these cool cars. And there's of course a random not cool car, but it's kind of
you'll get that, but I mean, they're helping charities.
Of course,
I can't really be mad at them.
No, exactly.
Some of the highlights from this year. So this year was an amazing turnout. I want to say more than last year. Like it keeps getting better and better every year.
That's kind of what's cool about the festivals, because they always like level it up every year so that more people come and it's more exciting. But you never know what's going to happen until you get there, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, because I feel like there's no really much promotion for this thing. I heard about it like on Instagram once, but I thought it was going to be this tiny thing and like, oh, nobody's heard of this. But when you show up, it's like, no, the whole city knows about this, but I feel like it's just word of mouth. Nobody really sees advertisements or flyers or anything. It's just, if you know, you know.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. I kind of respect that, because I feel like everything is pushed so hard these days. It's like, nice. Let's just let something go word of mouth. Everyone who cares enough to be there will be there. Exactly. And other people are kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, for sure. So some of the highlights from this year, I've seen this guy like, I don't know, 3-4 times now. He's a local YouTuber, Driver Roy.
Tongue twister.
Yeah. He does a lot for covers a lot in the car community, Toronto, but also in the US. And every time I see him, I'm like, I gotta go up to this dude and chat with him, and but I don't have the balls to do it this time. So maybe next time. I would love to have him on the podcast, of course. We'll see if I ever man up and just
do better.
Yeah,
gotta get him on the pod. That'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
We do have some cool developments for the podcast in the near future, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah, for sure. I thought this was like so cool. So there's an Aventador Ultimate, and every Ultimate is like highest spec Aventadors, like balling out. So this one, in the pictures, it looks like just a normal white car, but it is like a pearl, almost like gold flakes in the paint, and then the sunlight looked amazing. And then the interior is white Alcantara with gold details.
That's sick.
And then the best part, so that's the husband's car. The best part is he has a matching Huracan Evo Spider for his wife.
That's wild.
that is goals right there.
That's sick.
That is so sick. Like matching, everything matched, and it was so cool to see.
That is really sick.
One for you. So 812 with the Novtec and Largo
I'm
kit.
so pissed I missed that because that's literally my dream spec car.
Yeah, and look
Oh,
at
those
this thing.
wheels.
It
Oh my
is
god,
so-
I'll put some pictures in the video, but
and straight piped, and they did a like one or two startups and just revved. Like, oh my god, it sounds so good. It's
Unbelievable.
fucking loud though. Like you need earplugs for that.
fucking love these cars, man.
Yeah.
I need one.
But it is local to Toronto, so maybe we'll see it. Just
I
driving around.
really hope so. I'd probably cream my pants if one drove by, but
Yeah. Free loot. I made haven't posted it yet, but by the time this video goes up, it's probably gonna be live. Just a quick video on the free loot I got. Like NOS stickers, keychains. Actually, a lot of keychains. I had like 4 or 5 at this point.
just collecting garbage at this point.
Yeah. The foam holder that fell off within 2 days.
Classic.
But yeah, I mean that's part of the grind when you go to.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's part of your grind. I remember I tried to give you a flyer and then you didn't take it, remember? Was that the one in Yorkville?
Oh yeah, that was.
Gave you a random handout and
Yeah.
you were stuck with it. But yeah, then you got a popsicle at that one. Or a lollipop.
Yeah.
Sucker.
Sucker, yeah. We chatted with a car rental, so we're
All right, yeah.
also developments on that.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, stay tuned. An insane. I don't know if it was an authentic Liberty Walk Aventador, but it is. It really looked like it. It could be a knockoff, but holy crap, that thing was like wide.
Really?
Like if you think that Novtec is wide, that Aventador, oh my god.
It's a curb scratcher. But also, does it look like the one, like we've seen one around like Toronto? Is it wider?
Oh yeah, like that thing is. I mean, it's kind of clapped, but
Yeah.
it is insane. Like I have a picture here.
Yeah, we'll put the photo in the video as well for everyone to see. Oh wow, yeah.
It's
That does look really cool. I don't think I've ever seen it like that though, with the wing and stuff.
So-
Looks cool.
yeah. This is. It's either the actual authentic Liberty Walk. It's called like it's inspired after a fighter jet. It's even wider than the normal kit, and like even more angular.
Yeah.
And it's limited to I think 15 worldwide.
Oh shit.
So that's why I'm suspecting it's not the authentic kit and probably just a replica. It still looks dope, and well made. It did have a wrap over it, so probably not like completely perfect.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't paint it. But it's still a really cool car, and I love the plate too. It was like Slambo, slammed.
That's sick.
I like that, yeah. And then one of the things that I found like really hyped, because we've done an episode on this, the Singer, which is like remodeled Porsches or retro mod.
Yeah.
Retro mod Porsches. And there's actually 2 on display, and I got to talking with the one of the salesmen for PAF, I think is how they say FAF.
I don't know. I see those license plate holders everywhere.
Yeah, they're dominating the Toronto, especially like high end exotics.
Really?
Yeah,
There's like a reseller.
reseller. They're the ones that they do everything. So they have dealerships for like Ford, Audi, all that. They have the exotics. So they have McLaren. I don't think they have Lambo, but yeah, McLaren, and then they have like a reserve section, which is like high-end exotics, which I think is what they resell Singers with, and then they also have like modifying. So
That's pretty cool, actually.
yeah, so they built the Ferrari. There's also a Tech Art Porsche, and they also build that themselves. And they do a lot. So yeah, I got to talking to the guy, and this red one that is pictured here is actually a Canadian edition. So this was specifically sold to the Canadian market. It's just one of one. Really cool. Like a bunch of little gems. Like on here is the leaf from
That's
the
pretty
flag. Same with the interior. There's a bunch of like Canadian reference. And then there was another one, and they're both from different collections and owned locally in Toronto.
Damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I
Definitely a place to go for like rarities, like rare cars.
yeah, and I didn't know we even had them because they're pretty expensive. Like
Yeah.
we did an episode on them, like about 1 million.
It's insane. Yeah. Even I see like Drake's Bugatti made another appearance. It was
So-
there last year too, right?
That's actually a different Bugatti.
Oh, it looks the same.
Well, his was black.
Was it black?
Yeah,
Okay.
his was pure sang or pure noir, which is like black with orange interior.
I just remember it being like the first gen Veyron.
Yeah. This is insane. So this is the I have it here. YSFL, which is Yunge and Steele Ford dealership, and this is their collection right here. So they have LaFerrari, the Bugatti. They have a 599 GTO beside, like I didn't picture it here, but it was there. Aventador SV Roadster.
It's just a Ford dealer that has a bunch of exotics.
I guess they have one of the craziest car collections in Ontario, and they're pretty renowned, like they're pretty well known. And then Mansory, Rolls Royce, and they had a Brabus G wagon,
That's crazy.
and that's just what they brought to the show. They have like a lot more back home. There's actually a few. I think Roy covered their collection. There's a few like videos and they let photographers take pictures of their collection. It's really impressive.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So it must be someone that's also passionate about it and wants to, start competing with FAF, it looks like.
Yeah. Who knew selling Fords could make you that much money? It's pretty
I
crazy.
guess because they're not selling Fords anymore.
Yeah. Well, this is the private collection. Like they own
Yeah,
these. So
That makes sense.
And I like that they show up to a lot of events.
Really?
It's not like a collection that's just hidden. Like they've showed up to quite a few car shows with the LaFerrari and the Bugatti, and they're seen driving the Aventador SV, so it's not like locked away.
That's perfect. I like when they do that, not just locking it away and, wasting everyone's time.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, that's
That's pretty much the show.
there's a pretty cool Viper. I don't know. The Vipers, the last gen, I think it's 5th gen Vipers, really have been growing on me. Like they don't
Yeah.
make them anymore, and
Especially the ACRs.
yeah,
They just look insane.
honestly, I almost prefer just the basic. I think it's GTS, like the base
Yeah.
model. I really like it. I just
Such a one-of-a-kind engine and car. It's
manual.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like Americans don't make any other V10s. So
Yeah.
Like it's one of the rarities, and it's fucking huge. It's still
It
that
is.
gen is 8.7 as well, right? 8 liter.
8.4.
Okay, so they went down from the older gen, but 8.4 is fucking huge.
And it's pretty nice. It sounds good. It's quiet from factory, but if you do like a good exhaust with like a pretty aggressive cam, like you got the chop,
Yeah.
it sounds crazy. I would love to have that.
But you know what? Like, it's insane to think about the size of those cylinders, because
Yeah.
like if you think about like my car, for example, which is the 5.2 V10, like that's about half a liter like per cylinder. But this is like almost a liter. Like it's like the size of like a decent sized milk jug that fits in one cylinder. Like it's
Yeah.
insane how much, like, first of all, how much fuel it uses, but also just how much force that creates. Like the explosions are massive. And you
Yeah.
got 10 of those happening at once. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And the thing is, it's never ever gonna be recreated.
No.
With today's emissions and
Never.
all the BS going on, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah. I'm curious actually how big that gas tank is and how quickly it runs out, because
Yeah.
it could not be good.
Well, I mean, probably not that, unless you drive aggressive. Like,
True.
if you with your car, like,
Yeah, if you just drive normally, like on the highway, it's fine. But I mean, the size of that engine, though, you think it would just run through fuel a lot faster,
Yeah.
I don't know.
and they're not too crazy in prices too. Like, I mean, it's not cheap, but maybe 120 you can probably get something.
That's pretty insane. Like for like a one of a kind car.
Yeah.
And like you stand out because everyone's like, holy shit, what is that?
Yeah. Exactly.
It's pretty sweet.
So who knows? Bucket list item.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bucket list car.
Yeah, quickly before we end the episode too, I wanted to quickly touch on another event that happened at the same track. I think 2.5 weeks later. This was on Monday, the 23rd, I think. Yeah, so 6 days ago, as of this recording. So I actually went with one of my other buddies. He actually owns a Ferrari, and we went to the Ferrari track day, which was pretty cool. Unfortunately, it was kind of like a shitty rainy day, so it was like wet track. It was slowly kind of misting, so it wasn't the best track day, but I mean, it was sweet. Like, we walk in there, like, grand greeting. There's like food everywhere. It was like 8 a.m. Like, we got there super early. And yeah, we just like had breakfast, and then they had kind of like a briefing. So there's 3 different categories. There's beginners, intermediate drivers, and GT Cup car drivers. So I'm guessing the Cup car drivers are people that have a lot of experience in racing Ferraris and stuff. So they just went right out and started on the skid pad. But then the beginners, and I wasn't a driver, but I was just kind of went along with the drivers, which my buddy was. And yeah, they just kind of gave a rundown of, you know, a wet track, what to expect, how to best enter a corner, when to brake, and when to hit the gas, which is actually really interesting. It's kind of like a mini Formula One lesson. And then, you know, how you should be sitting in your seat to get the most like brace in like a corner. So it's actually really interesting. Like, there's like the foot plate, if you don't have a clutch, obviously it needs to be an automatic car, that you have, and you actually push against that, and then your leg should have a slight bend in it, and you should be completely mounted between the bolsters of the seat. And then same with the gas, so you should have a slight bend in your knee. And he said the reason for that is that when you get in an accident, your knee comes up instead of breaking your leg. So if you have a straight leg, you'll actually break your leg. So I found that kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And then also, to go into a corner, you brake all the way until you're just about to enter the corner, and then you go right back on the gas. So I always thought you brake through a corner, but you downshift and brake when you're going in. If you're not in auto mode, you have the paddles. And then almost like right before the apex, you slam on the gas, and then that'll get you right in like the right position. But yeah, the thing he kept talking about was that finding the right speed is difficult, especially because it's easy to fly off past the apex, especially in a sharp corner. And apparently the track, the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, is the second fastest track in the world. So I didn't know that, actually. So it's like speed wise, like if they go balls to the wall, it's like the second fastest moving track in the world.
Interesting.
So yeah, pretty crazy. But yeah, I found that pretty interesting. They had like a lot of different, you know, ways of doing it. They actually like kind of taught the rules of how to signal, which was kind of cool. So it's like you don't use your signals to signal direction on a track. You signal to pass, like for someone else to pass. So like if you have 3 blinks on your right, then the person behind you knows they can pass. And they also allow you to, it was raining so we didn't, but to put your arm out your window. So in typical situations, you drive with your windows down, and then that's kind of how you'd show that. I think that might just be for the beginner class, but yeah, let me think if there's anything else. I think, yeah, the main thing was like that it was wet, so they went out to the skid pad, it's called. It's just like it sounded cooler. I thought it was going to be like some, you know, something from Wipeout or something, but it was just a piece of concrete with some cones and in a circle, and they're purposely pushed to make their car spin out, so they know the edge of where grip is lost, and so they know how to control it in a case where they would spin out or lose control. So it's kind of funny watching my friend because he's not a great driver, but it's just hilarious because he started out really slow, and they have like a trainer or like a driving instructor beside them, and you just see at first he just went really slow around the corner, and then you could tell that he was just like come on, push it, and you just see like he just hits the gas, goes faster and faster. You hear it squealing, and then all of a sudden he just spins. And then obviously there was cup cars, which is pretty cool. Interestingly, I didn't know this, but they had to budge everyone because if they sit still too long, they overheat. So they had to keep moving.
Really?
It's pretty weird. It was just like a 488, like completely stripped. I don't know what else they changed, but they're so fucking loud. Like I'll post a video in the video right here. other than that, like everyone got to do, like I didn't because I didn't have a Ferrari, obviously. Got to do like probably a total of like 15 or 20 laps throughout the day, which is pretty sweet.
That's pretty good. Honestly.
I know, and like the tickets aren't cheap; they're like $1,000 a person. But I mean, you get food all day. There's like a specialty espresso bar that like the coffee was insane. And just like obviously it's a private track. Like there was maybe 30 people there, and like there was sessions every hour. So every session was 30 minutes. So every hour and a half, you had another chance to go. So there's 3 groups, obviously the beginner, the intermediate, and the cup cars. And then so yeah, you had 30 minutes every hour and a half. So there's like 5 or 6 sessions per day throughout the entire day to race and to learn. And then if you're in the beginner class, they had the opportunity to like have a training, like an instructor with them the entire day, which was actually mandated. They actually couldn't go. That's why I couldn't join, because he wasn't advanced enough yet where he could bring like a passenger, which is pretty cool because I kind of watched him progress throughout the day, and the start I was just kind of like, just kind of smirking because it was just so fucking slow. And then throughout the day, he just kind of kept pushing and pushing, and eventually he was actually like the main straight, he's going like 210, 220, so he's pushing pretty decent speeds. But yeah, no, it was a really cool day. I met some cool people. More to come on that as well. And I think, yeah, it was just like a cool experience. Like I didn't know they actually did this, so obviously, you'll know this when you have a Ferrari, but they actually do this twice a year, one in the spring, one in the fall. So it'd be cool to attend more of these. But yeah, pretty cool overall experience.
It is awesome to hear that, because I feel like sometimes the price tag of these cars like doesn't make sense, but it's also opening a lot of doors for you.
For sure. Yeah.
Because I know Porsche has it's similar. It's like the RS experience. So if you have a GT3 or GT3 RS,
Yeah.
or even like other models, but you kind of have to be well connected. They'll kind of do something similar.
Yeah.
And it's nice because you work so hard to get these cars, and when you get them, it's like, not to sound cocky or like we're better than people, but you are experiencing things that most people won't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Experience.
No, that's so true. And I think I was talking to one of the owners. He had a 458, and I was just chatting with him, and he said he's been to like track days before, but he finds it overrun by like, in his quotes, shittier cars like Porsches and all those base model Boxsters and everything. And he's just like, they don't have the same mindset that Ferrari owners do. So he found it like much more rewarding to come to like a Ferrari only track day where everyone owns a Ferrari, everyone has the same mindset, everyone's in the same club. So he said that's like really valuable and why he goes. So yeah, I guess like half of this is just like networking, meeting people, talking to people who have Ferraris, how long they've owned it, what they do for work. Like that alone is probably worth the money for most people. So
Yeah.
and then I mean you get to rip your car on a track what's not fun about that?
What's the coolest car you saw that day?
It actually wasn't that crazy. I saw there's a couple Romas, 458. There was 2 of them. There's actually a Speciale, which is sick. It had a custom exhaust. They actually trailered it from London, Ontario, which is nuts. I'd definitely drive down the road.
I mean, that's like $1 million car.
Yeah.
Speciale, they're selling for a lot.
It's insane. Yeah, I actually almost got a ride along in one because I was talking to the wife of the guy, and she was actually driving it on the track. So, yeah, she was really nice. I kind of regret not getting her information, but yeah, but that was really cool. There was, let's see, there's a California, which is super loud. I don't know why it was so loud, but it was like really loud. There's a 488. There was an F430. Like on the rest of them, but yeah, there's a lot of cool ones. Sadly, no V12s. I was kind of hoping there'd be like an F12 or an A12, but yeah, none of them. Just so I'm curious if it's just that dealer that organized this event. That's my guess. And I don't think they currently have any A12s or F12s, so that might be why. Because it's Ferrari of Ontario, I think, that organized it.
I mean, they should.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I mean, maybe they're just too wealthy and have too much to do. But
Yeah, the owners are either too scared or
yeah, I mean,
below them.
fair. I would have been such a happy person if an F12 or an A12 came. I would have stayed the whole day. But either way, it was cool. I'm not going to complain. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other cars that were there. Oh, there's like a really old one, like a Daytona. It's pretty sweet. It actually ripped. Like it was hella quick. It had like the stripe. It was like kind of like the taller one with the. It had like a flat back end. I'll show you a video, but yeah, it was just cool. Like, cause it was just like a group of cars, and they kept doing laps and stuff. So it was fun, to, like see all of them come back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
pretty cool day too. Lots going on at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Yeah, there's a lot of like almost every weekend there's something.
Yeah.
So I'd love to next summer like definitely go back to Drive Festival, but also just go because they do a lot of races.
Yeah,
Just go watch a race or something. Be cool.
be sweet. Yeah, be awesome. But yeah, cool. Anything else?
That's it.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we'll get back to you next week on episode 52. Hope you enjoyed this one.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.